violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. All right, guys. So I'm about to show you this video. This is about street harassment in New York City, safety and whatnot. And you got a lot of these homeless super gremlins. They're bold now. They're doing things in broad daylight, brazen. And it's pretty crazy, and it's pretty scary to know that these dudes, these super gremlins out here, are taking this demon time thing very seriously. And I'm gonna basically show you this clip, but I do want to read the caption. Okay, this woman starts the caption off by saying, "It started when I was sitting and minding my business. He kept looking. He then asked me, 'Ma'am, are you okay?' And I said, 'Who, me?' All right, so she goes, and I continued to scroll through social media, and each time I looked up, he was still staring. So I recited Ayatul Kursi because I was scared." I don't know what that is. When he got up, something told me to get up and walk away. Then he came and stood in front of me, and I started walking and pulled my phone out. And that's where we are here. Buckle up.
I feel safe because this grown man is following me, and I got you on camera that you keep following me. And if you do something,
bitch, I knock you out. Bitch, I knock you.
Woo! Ha! He said, "I will knock you out."
Bitch, I knock you out. How about that? Bitch, I knock your fucking teeth out. Bitch, I knock your fucking teeth out. I'll slit your fucking throat. How about that? Knock.
I feel safe because this.
He said he'll knock her teeth out and slit her throat. Honestly, even though it's illegal in New York City, I mean, y'all gonna have to work hard to get these permits, because that's a direct threat. That's a direct threat, and he following hard too. This is crazy. This is crazy. Woo! And here's an interesting comment. This guy says, "Everyone who says call 911 is definitely not from New York City. Cops don't give a F as long as the stalker has his vax card." Yep. Yep.
This grown man is following me, and I got you on camera that you keep following me. And if you do something,
bitch, I knock you out. Bitch, I knock you out. How about that? Bitch, I knock your fucking teeth out. Bitch, I knock your fucking teeth out. I'll slit your fucking throat. How about that? Knock.
Now to that developing story from overnight. Police are investigating after a man was shot at a nightclub in Brooklyn. It happened early this morning. This is another instance of crime up across the city over the last year. Overall crime is up almost 40%. Shootings are up 32%. Eyewitness News report.
Woo! Overall crime is up 40%. Mayor Eric Adams hasn't even put a dent into this. On track to beat 2021. And he sat down with Joe Biden the other day, and it was just a photo op. I wholeheartedly believe it was just a photo op. They have no idea what they have no idea what they've gotten into. We just got out of January. It's going to be a long year.
Reporter Marcus Solis is live in the Flatland section of Brooklyn with the very latest. Good morning to you, Marcus.
Good morning, Michelle. Police on the scene here of this shooting that took place outside of the King's Secret Gem, a nightclub here on Flatbush Avenue. It took place around 2:30 this morning, some sort of dispute, and a man was shot twice in the abdomen. Now this coming...
Woo! And guys, you can't get in any arguments with these super gremlins. It's not worth it. I don't care if you're talking about Kobe or Jordan, right? I don't care if you're talking about ribs over steaks. Whatever you're debating, it's not even worth it. Just move along. Yeah, this is better, whatever, keep it moving. No need to go back and forth. Because these super gremlins, they take anybody challenging them as a threat, and these dudes are willing to lash out at any moment.
Amid this spike in violence and gun violence that has been plaguing the city for the last couple of years, President Biden was in town this week specifically to discuss gun violence with Mayor Adams, the mayor targeting a 9/11 type response, envisioning that kind of response in dealing with gun violence. Just as there was a focus on international terrorism after 9/11, he wants to focus on gun violence in the city, and he is.
So he wants, you heard what he said, just like there was a focus on international terrorism in 2001 after 9/11. He wants to focus on the gun violence with the same level of intensity. So basically he's saying that he wants to wage a war like they did in Afghanistan in New York City on these super gremlins. Now, is he going to be able to do that? Nah, not likely. But we'll see. But it's not looking good so far.
Bringing back a specific gun unit in the NYPD to deal with some of this violence.
They're going to do precision policing to go after those 500 to 600 known trigger pullers that are producing 17% of the violence in the city. Or
known trigger pullers. Known trigger pullers. Known. They're known, and they still can't stop them. And it's more than that. Way more than that. He's minimizing the issue. Because there's a new trigger puller every day, B. Every day.
Precision policing to go after those 500 to 600 known trigger pullers that are producing 17% of the violence in the city, although they are.
The way he said trigger pullers, it sounded like a racial slur. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he might as well just went ahead and said super gremlins. It's more appropriate.
They're going to do precision policing to go after those 500 to 600 known trigger pullers that are producing 17% of the violence in the city, although they are less than 1% of the population.
As for this incident, police continue to investigate. No arrests. The person who was shot and injured, his injuries not considered to be life-threatening, was taken to Kings County Hospital. And we're live in Flatlands. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
You saw Mayor Adams on the scene there. Later in the day, he had to react to a video that surfaced showing him use a derogatory term towards his white NYPD colleagues. This was back in 2019. The video is getting a lot of attention this afternoon.
Every day in the police department, I kick those crackers.
Those comments made during a private event held by the Harlem Business Alliance. At the time, he was just gearing up to campaign for mayor. The activist who shot the video says Adams was talking about how he would, quote, right the wrongs of racist contract policies if elected to city mayor.
Oh, wow. So fight racism with more racism. See, and the narrative is black people can't be racist. But imagine if the roles were reversed. Just imagine. Okay? We actually saw this happen with Michelle Odene in Louisiana, where she referred to the super gremlin who robbed their house or attempted to rob their house. She referred to him as the N-word. If Mayor Adams would have came out as a white man and said instead of cracker, he said nigga, all hell would break loose. He wouldn't even be able to, he would have to resign right now. He would. There's no way that he would overcome that politically. But this right here, it's here today and gone tomorrow. He's going to sweep it under the rug. I think the Shade Room posted this as well, and I'm just looking under the comments, everybody laughing, everybody think it's a joke, whatever. But if you say you want to end racism, that means end racism with everybody. It doesn't mean end racism by saying, okay, white people can't be racist, but everybody else can be racist toward white people. And I think that's the biggest issue when it comes to the community and this race thing. Do unto others as you would like done unto you. Point blank, simple. Mayor Eric Adams, why are you saying the term cracker in a public setting, for one? Like, that's reserved for, you know, locker room, bro talk, whatever. Okay? Anything goes then in the privacy, or anything goes, all right? But on a public setting, bro, you're bugging. You're bugging. And talking about his colleagues, nonetheless, guys that he worked with, swag.
Adams was asked about the comment about an hour ago. This was his response.
Definitely apologize. Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word, I responded in that comment.
Imagine if a white man was trying to explain why he said the N-word. I mean, they got Joe Rogan out here trying to explain why he said the N-word. So imagine, oh man, this is hilarious.
But clearly, it's a comment that should not be used, and I apologize not only to those who heard it, but to New Yorkers, because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The PBA also released a statement saying, in part, quote, "We have spent far too many hours together in hospital emergency rooms these past few weeks, and we've worked together for decades before that. A few seconds of video will not define our relationship. We have a lot of work to do together to support our members on the streets."
And one day after a kind of game-changing meeting with President Biden about stopping gun violence in New York City, an apology tonight from Mayor Adams. Video from a private meeting back in 2019 with business people in Harlem has Mr. Adams using an inappropriate word for whom he described as racist cops. Adams, a 20-year veteran of the NYPD, who often did battle internally with some of his colleagues. Well, tonight, the video and his apology. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles.
No, definitely apologize. Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word, I responded in that comment.
Mayor Adams Friday.
What the hell did he just say?
Issuing an apology for comments he made 3 years ago. It's the kind of controversy that typically surfaces and is addressed on the campaign trail.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those. Man, I was unbelievable in the police department.
And everybody started clapping for him. That's the crazy part.
One of the black law enforcement. Clearly, it's a comment that should not be used, and I apologize not only to those who heard it, but to New Yorkers, because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The video was shot.
At least he took accountability. I rock with the way he apologized. Except for like the initial word salad where he's like, I used the word in the context of a word that was asked to me in a question, and I used that word to describe and answer the question of the word of the question. And that's my answer.
During a private event hosted by the Harlem Business Alliance in December 2019.
When you shot this video in 2019, did you think his comments were inappropriate at the time?
No. Then candidate, now mayor, made a public commitment to take 30% of billions of dollars in city contracts.
Wow. So, Thomas.
Mayor made a public.
Thomas Lopez, Burrito Gremlin, BLM Real Estate
Commitment
Forum. Oh, God. So he's a scammer. He a burrito scammer. Anyways, he's okay with the comments. He's okay with the comments. So, but use a derogatory word for a burrito gremlin, then all hell breaks loose. And I'm not going to say it, but it has to do with, you know, I'm not even going to say it.
To take 30% of billions of dollars in city contracts and spend it with Black and Hispanic and Asian and women-owned businesses. And that's the reason why I voted for him.
Adams further clarified his comments today.
You know, my fight in the police department was fighting racism throughout my entire journey, and I was serious about fighting against that.
In response to the video, the PBA says, "We have spent far too many hours together in hospital emergency rooms these past few weeks, and we've worked together for decades before that. A few seconds of video will not define our relationship."
Wow. Look at how forgiving the glider gremlins are. Look at how forgiving they are, bro. They just forgave him off back. No outlash, no protest, no demanding for him to resign. Just forgiveness.
You held this video back for 2 years. You recently released it in support of Adams, but that's not what's happening. What do you think about the criticism against him right now because of the words that he used?
Eric Adams is a big boy. He's a politician.
Pause.
Who cares about criticism? He's the mayor.
In Lower Manhattan, Darla Miles, Channel 7.
You heard what he said. Who cares about criticism? He's the mayor. That's the attitude. So it doesn't matter how well he does it. It doesn't matter how well he does his job, how poorly he does the job. He's the mayor.
Eyewitness News.
An apology today from Mayor Adams for an inappropriate comment he made back in 2019 about white police officers. Video was made public today.
CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer investigated the incident and spoke to the person who posted the video.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
A furor tonight over the sudden posting on social media of a racially charged comment made by Eric Adams during a December 2019 appearance at the Harlem Business Alliance. The man who posted the video, Thomas Lopez Pierre of the Black Lives Matter real estate forum, told me that he purposely picked the clip he posted, which was in the middle of a half-hour appearance by the mayor.
Why did you pick that specific point to start your clip?
Because we live in a social media world, and I knew it would be attention grabbing.
Thomas Lopez Pierre also telling me he didn't release video of the appearance.
So he set the mayor up. He set the homie up
At the time because he thought it would hurt Eric Adams' chances of being elected mayor. He moved now, he said, because he thinks Adams has been spending too much time talking about hiring more cops and not about improving the economic health of minority communities.
Wow, this is petty. I thought we were supposed to, I thought we were supposed to be in unison, us burrito gremlins and super gremlins, but he leaked this because Mayor Adams is trying to solve the crime issue. That's petty. That's petty. So this was a political statement. This was a political move. There goes your black and brown unity.
All I've been hearing is cops this, cops that. You know, listen, black people have been getting killed. There have been more black people killed this year than police officers. Police officers decided to...
Bro, how is this any different from what what was it? That 20-year-old airhead chick, the actress chick, how is this any different than what she said? Bro, you got 2 officers who just were killed. And yeah, more blacks were killed. Yeah, by other blacks. It's not by police officers. It's by super gremlins. So what are you saying right now?
Put on a uniform. They decided to take the risk.
Lopez Pierre, whose brother was killed by an off-duty cop during a carjacking, is no stranger to controversy.
So your bruh was killed by an off-duty cop during a carjacking? Was he getting jacked or was he the one jacking?
For city council in 2017, he tried to use $100,000 in taxpayer dollars taken from public campaign matching funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine.
Wow, so this dude is just a slime ball.
Late today, Adams apologized.
Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word, I responded in that comment. But clearly, it's a comment that should not be used, and I apologize not only to those who heard it, but to New Yorkers because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The police unions are standing foursquare with Adams. Both the PBA and the detectives union say actions speak louder than words. In the newsroom, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2 News.
And in a statement, Pat Lynch, the head of the PBA, said in part, "We have spent far too many hours together in hospital emergency rooms these past few weeks, and we've worked together for decades before that. A few seconds of video will not define our relationship."
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department when you keep 100 blacks in law enforcement. Became a sergeant, a lieutenant, and a captain. You know the story. Some people all of a sudden trying to reinvent me. But the reality is, what I was then is who I am now.
Wow, man. And honestly, I really don't even, I don't have any gripes with what he said. I would just say, keep that same energy. You know what I mean? Keep that same energy. If there's context and a glider is trying to get his, get his thing off, get his nigga pass off, like, I mean, seriously, like, there's a lot of white folks who got a nigga pass, like, it really is. That's a fact. All right, because in the streets, it's a lot of white chicks saying the N-word. It's a lot of white chicks saying the N-word. A lot of white dudes too. And you can't go around, oh, he said nigga, like, it's all about context. You can't just go around being mad that every time you hear white dudes say the N-word. Otherwise, you be in a lot of fights. Because now it's like they're even, oh, yo, what's good, my nigga? Like, they're literally, at least in my generation, the older dudes, they probably don't hear that much. But when you in your 20s, I mean, I feel like everybody's saying it, honestly.
I'm called again. So it's so interesting. I'm coming right after the sister talking about cannabis. I would rather wear white all day, grow a beard, smoke some weed, and leave this stuff alone. You hear me? Man, these Negroes, boy, these Negroes that wake up every day and don't like themselves, they're gonna beat me up. The people who say, where's our real black leaders? They're going to say, listen, who's Eric? Why does Eric think he should be mayor? Well, Negro, you run. You run. Go raise us $7 million. Go do this hits. Let me tell you something, man. They are lining up.
He want to say the N-word so bad. And this clip gives you a lot of context because he said crackers and then he was like, brothers is complaining to him and telling him, hey, do this, do that. And I feel him, the weight is on, the pressure is on. He's trying to find, he's trying to use ideas. Just go back to using what works. Dump all this COVID mandate, all this BS, and get back to what actually works. And that's the plainclothes officers. That's the special gun units and whatnot. That's more police officers, more funding for the police. That's what works in New York City. All right. You're not going to eliminate all of the murders, but you can put a dent in it, and you can do better than 40% increase from 2021.
Eric can't be mayor. In the corners of the city, they are lining up. They know me. They know what I'm about, and they know what I'm going to do as the mayor of the city of New York. Listen, we're not going to play this game. We're taking 30% off the top of MWBEs. Not saying give it to a majority company to pass through. No, we're going to take the 30% off the top. Y'all have your 70%. The 30% is going to go straight to the women and minority-owned business.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I
so it is what it is.